Today's episode is gonna be about sludge metal. In the next episode, we're gonna be going into blackened sludge metal, which is somewhat different territory, but very interesting. So to begin this episode, I'm gonna start with an underdog. The underdog, which is so good, you would not believe that this record has not been noticed so far. I was seeing some releases and then I saw this picture and I just clicked on it because I couldn't resist. It's, I have a soft spot for industrial buildings and industrial landscapes, so this kind of touched me, and I looked into it and I heard the first track out of this album. And I couldn't believe what I'm hearing. It was like Nirvana playing Sepultura, or vice versa, Sepultura playing Nirvana, mixing their songs together. Essentially, it's punk music driven to one of the extremes, but at the same time it's very soulful. It's not melancholic, it's not sad, it's not too angry, it's not too aggressive. It's soulful. It's the vocals are screaming, but it's as if they are singing. This guy who's screaming his ass off is a wonderful singer. We're going a little deeper and heavier. It's long overdue to give credit to a wonderful band that resulted from another wonderful band. And they have been the stalwarts of sludge metal. I'm talking about the band which initially was called Indian. And this particular album is called Guiltless. It was released years ago on Relapse Records, quite a long time ago. It features bright acid red vinyl with little whitish splashes. Quite a decent Apple on this record, and it sounds insanely good. It sounds incredibly, insanely fabulous. It features lots of interesting art. Indian who explored psychedelic heavy music, progressive psychedelic riffing. They've broken so much ground in heavy music. They are incredible. So this is what you're hearing right now is the album called Guiltless by the band called Indian. I heard, basically this album was the first album by Indian that I ever got to listen on MP3 or something. I did not go into vinyls yet by that time, although I spent all my childhood with vinyls. So this now is a kind of a revival. Well, I was stunned by the heaviness of this music. I was completely flabbergasted by the sheer intensity of every song and every sound. So this is the vinyl version, and it's not available on Relapse, but Indian is abundant on Discogs, and you can still order vinyl of this wonderful band. When they ceased to exist, after releasing several more albums, like this for instance, from Seventh Rule Recordings, a label that I'm gonna be telling you some more about because they are amazing. They are releasing amazing music. So this is the album by Indian. It's another one. They have quite a lot of them. This one is on transparent orange vinyl with quite wide grooves, so that means there's a lot of sound packed on this piece of wax. So Indian, yeah, it's one of my favorite bands in sludge music and in general. Lord Mantis. Oh Lord, what a Mantis this is. What you're looking at right now is the album by Lord Mantis, I guess their first album in the new shape after they had been Indian for quite a while. This is the album called Perverter or Pervertor, something like that, and it's crazy, insane quality music. with challenging, insulting, and offensive imagery, with deep philosophical lyrics, not offensive at all. I mean, they are poetic. There's nothing that would suggest that the same kind of blasphemy going on in the lyrics. No, it's just graphic like this. It features semi-transparent, smoky vinyl with minimalist apple like this. So this is Lord Mantis, the album called Perverter from Hammerheart Records. Hammerheart Records. I bought this album off of them, Hammerheart Records, quite a while ago, some 2 years I guess, or 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And the gatefold features tons of hand scribbled lyrics. It's very hard to read, it's fairly illegible. So as you can hear, it's intense, heavy melodic sludge metal with very catchy melodies. Their melodies are gonna stick with you. They are the Beatles of sludge metal, man. They are so inventive with their melodies. I got some more of this band. This is their latest album to date. It's called Nice Teeth Horror. Dark psychedelic symbolic thing about fertility or femininity. Very thick black vinyl with an interesting apple, and it's 45 rounds per minute. It's 45 RPM, very wide groove. This vinyl packs a hell of a lot of sound, man. They are so groovy, so nice, and very much underappreciated. In general, sludge metal is such a cool type of music, and it's largely underappreciated. So that's why I'm having episodes like this. Seriously, this music deserves to be listened to. It's very interesting. And this is another album by Lord Mantis. Maybe still available from New Density, because this time it's a double LP featuring a lot of imagery dedicated to human suffering. As you can see, they ask a lot of questions about the nature of being. Why are we like this? Why is everything like that? Why are we such tormented creatures? There are some interesting lyrics indeed, like 3 crosses, or negative birth, or possession prayer. They are very brutal. They are very personal. Blood, rust, incinerate. A common threat. Your shit intent. The sick will write in. Welcome back to HeavyWax. Guess who has released a sludge record? It's the one Philip Anselmo. Philip Anselmo and his latest band of musicians, which they call themselves the Illegals. And the album is called Choosing Mental Illness as a Virtue. Well, we're going into deep philosophy here, my friends, with this record. It features classic Philip Anselmo vocals, but rendered into a beautiful red vinyl like this, semi-transparent, and into the music that is far more progressive than other bands that Philip Anselmo played in. As you can hear, this is pretty much progressive death metal. But I would say it's more of a sludge record, because you hear that punkish attitude in the delivery on this album. Well, it's a gatefold record, features a lot of lyrics, some pictures. By the way, it's a photo installation for the purpose of this album. It's a photo shoot. It's not pictures of real mental patients, but it's done impeccably. Lyrically, the album explores, as you might have guessed from the title of the album, it explores deep psychological and psychic problems. It explores different stages, different states of mind. Sometimes the lyrics are just kind of rambling, but still enjoyable nevertheless. So the album was released on Season of Mist Records label, and I believe if you're fast, you can still get a copy of this wonderful, fine sludge metal record by Philip Anselmo and the Illegals. They are awesome. They are incredible on this album. So finding an album to top these Philip Anselmo and the Illegals record, I had to really look deep into my record collection. And then I found it. There it is. There it is not. There it is. And there it is not again. There it is. And there it is not. Have you guessed it? Probably not. It is an album by the band which is also severely underrated and undercredited. I'm talking about the band The Great Sabatini, and this is their latest record that was released on vinyl. It was released a couple of years ago, I guess, and then it's still available on their Bandcamp page. But listen to this music. I have to tell you that I've been listening to The Great Sabatini for quite a while, for 7 or 6 years to be precise. They have released quite a number of records, I think 4, if I'm not mistaken, and they've been playing on every record a genius mixture of sludge and punk and progressive metal. They are very catchy melodies. They have incredibly catchy melodies. This album is incredibly musical. It is very nice to look at. See, it's yellow vinyl with a nifty black and white picture on the apple, and the vinyl sounds incredibly good. It is very rich. The mastering, the mix is roomy. It allows for space. The music kind of is spacey, but at the same time it's very tight. And as I said, it's artsy. So you can find many passages in this music that would be, great on any progressive metal band album. They are very witty. Their melodies are interesting, never boring, always dynamic. It's not a one-trick pony, this band. They know how to play differently. They know how to be different. They are a little bit different on every album, and they are a little bit more inventive every time they start a new song. It's a great band, severely underrated. Give it much credit and go buy their records. They are super good. I don't know if they are still existent as a band or have they disbanded maybe. I don't know. Go check them out. If they are thinking of disbanding, talk them out of it. Let them record another album. I'm telling you, they are good. One more band whose lyrics I cannot understand because I don't wield the language. Right now I'm talking about a release from, was it Seasons of Mist? I guess it's Seasons of Mist record label. This is a Lithuanian band. A band from Eastern European countries. One of those 3 countries that broke away from Soviet Union the first time and faster than anyone else, because they hated the guts of what Soviet Union has turned into, a kind of stupid kakicracy, and where the worst people rule over the best. And it's a stupid way to live. So sludge metal, as one of the children of punk music, the music that breaks boundaries, whose sole purpose is to step over the constraints of the genre. So this band called Erdve, as far as I can pronounce, is from Lithuania. It's a record that has been committed to vinyl just recently, but the record itself existed way before. It obviously got a little extra mastering or remastering for vinyl, but at least it sounds great. It sounds awesome. 100 copies only, so I don't know if it's still available on sale, but it's still a very good record, a very worthy record to have in your collection. Erdve and the album Vaitojimas. Okay, after talking about sludge metal in its classical sense, I'm gonna give you a preview of what's coming next. And the next is gonna be blackened sludge metal. Namely, we're gonna be talking about bands like Coffin Worm. It's an awesome, awesome band. And I happen to have 3 albums by this band. 3 wonderful, innovative, melodic, and catchy records in the style of blackened sludge metal. And I have several such bands. We're going to be talking about Coffin Worm, Indian, Lord Mantis, and some others. So stick around for the next episode and have a great time out there.